let's get clearer understanding of what this 40-year agenda is, or 40-year plan is. And we've been joined on the line by Dr. Isaac Mensah Bonsu. He's the Director, Plan Coordination Division of the National Development Planning Commission. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon to your listeners and viewers.
Great. Were you surprised, or have you also heard that this is probably one of the many talk shops and agenda fora that would form as a country, and then nothing concrete or realistic would come out of this?
Well, I would not agree to that suggestion, because we started by visiting the key institutions in the country and the key state persons in the country, and based upon that, we are able to hold yesterday's meeting. And I think you agree with me that yesterday's meeting was historic and it was successful, where you could have the president himself launching the process, where we had the former president, two living former presidents, being with us at the same time, having the Speaker of Parliament with us, having the Chief Justice with us, ministers, MPs, private sector, civil society, government sector, all together discussing this particular issue. I believe that that is enough to convince us that we are serious this time. And again, if you listen to the presentation, NDPC reviewed our history regarding planning. And based upon the history, we realized that there are certain things that did not go well in the preparation. And what we've learned is that if we can have a document which is nationally owned, which everyone has an opportunity to contribute, then we believe that it will go a long way to assist in the implementation. And besides, NDPC is not the first to talk about the preparation of a long-term national development plan. As you are aware, the Constitution Review Commission did a comprehensive work on the NDPC and the need to prepare long-term national development plan. And I believe you've read the document. Chapter 3 focuses on what they heard from the people of Ghana. And everybody is saying that Ghana needs a long-term national development plan. And so what we are trying to do is in context. The context, first of all, is the Constitution. And again, the CRC report and some other legal documents we have in the country, particularly Act 815 that talks about the Petroleum Revenue Management Act. So we believe that this time we have learned our lessons, and therefore we have introduced a number of innovations that should work.
Okay,
it has worked elsewhere, but why not Ghana?
That brings me to my next question. The number of innovations that you've introduced, or the new ones that you've brought up, how different are they from the already existing national development agenda that we've had in the last few years?
Well, the last 2 years, we've been having 4-year medium-term development agenda. But now we are talking about a long-term, 40 years medium-term development agenda, which is going to be implemented in 10 4-year medium-term development agenda. So that is the innovation, a long-term one, which is going to be implemented in pieces, in 4-year slots. Now, aside from that, if you look at the way we want to go, in addition to the national meeting that we had yesterday, which was quite successful, we have also introduced regional consultations. So we are going to all the regions. Starting from next week, we are going to all the regions in the country to listen to them, to build consensus on the way we want to go, to build consensus on the future of Ghana that we want to have for ourselves and the future generations.
Right.
Aside from that, we've also drawn a comprehensive program for consultations with technical groups. We are going to meet professional bodies. We are going to hold national conferences on certain issues like how we can work on the national attitude that we have. And again, we are also thinking of, and we have to hold technical meetings in cross-sectoral planning groups.
Right.
These cross-sectoral planning groups have been provided for in the Act establishing NDPC. And it's made up of ministries, departments, agencies, the private sector, civil society organizations meeting together to discuss the technical details as a result from the regional consultations that we are going to have.
Okay, Doc, my final question would be, there was clearly some level of fear when people heard that it's a 40-year agenda. Can you help us understand the step-by-step implementation of whichever agenda we would all, agree on?
Well, the step-by-step implementation, as we indicated, for the 40 years, we started yesterday with a consultation. We will continue up to the end of the year, and then the following year, 2016, we will do the technical consultation. Now, after the technical consultation, the results will be brought before the general public for a validation. And when that is completed, we hope to submit the document to Parliament by October 2016. Now, after October 2016, we're going to have elections. Now, next year, the following year, that is 2017, the government will be in place after the election.
Right.
Now, that government will have a year, the whole of 2017, to prepare a medium-term agenda based on the long-term development plan that we are thinking of. So that will provide opportunities for the government to introduce their own operational plans that will help implement or achieve the long-term national development agenda. And will then start the implementation itself from 2018. And that will be from 2018 to 2021. That will be the medium-term plan that the government that will be formed in 2017 or after 2016 would introduce to Ghana.
Okay. I'm sure that as the days go by, we will get clearer and further understanding of this agenda. Thank you very much, Dr. Isaac Frimpong Mensah Bonsu. He is the Director for Plan Coordination Division of the National Development Planning Commission. All right, so it's a 40-year plan. There's going to be consultation. When they come to your neighborhood, do make a contribution to ensure that at least what you also want Ghana to become in the next few years is noted.